Hello and welcome back to the Number 9 podcast with me, Alex Valenti.
And me, Guy Robson. I've still got the Xbox headset on, but it should be fixed soon. I don't know. I'll try my best. But yeah, do you know what we're going to cover today, Alex?
Yeah, today we're going to discuss Ronaldo leaving Man United by mutual consent, the World Cup so far, and Newcastle stealing staff of Manchester City.
That's a good way to put it.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, I mean, you're the CR7 fan, so you can give your opinion on it first.
Yeah. Did you watch the Piers Morgan interview?
I've seen clips of it. I haven't seen the full thing, to be honest, but I get the gist of what happened.
Yeah, it wasn't the right way to go about things at all. It was very
Ronaldo.
It was very Ronaldo, yeah. If anyone was going to do it, it was Cristiano Ronaldo. But I just felt he's in my opinion, the best player of all time. And I think he's really tainted his legacy there at Man United by doing that interview. I feel like if he went out...
I think the issues that he had could have been solved more internally.
Yeah.
But I just think he wanted to point the finger at someone other than himself, because I do think he's known to be quite an arrogant player. I don't really think he can take the blame for any personal downfall. I mean, is he 37?
37.
That's like older than most goalkeepers. It's insane that he's still playing, but he does need to accept that his time is coming to an end with football.
I don't think he wants to. I think that's part of the problem. I think hitting his head, physically he is still 27, so in his head he feels that way.
He probably feels as though he needs to blame other people for not keeping up with him, but really he might not be keeping up with the way football's played now. But
the difficulty is, with that team at Man United now, I don't really rate them, to be honest. I think they're alright. I quite like the coach. I think he coached that team well. They are all well drilled, but with Ronaldo in that team, it slows them down.
Yeah, I think he is a good player. He's still got the leap. I mean, was it Portugal, Ghana?
Yes,
he
brilliant.
Still got that 2 meter jump on him.
Incredible.
So you can't say he's not fit, he's not capable. He's definitely one of the most capable players. I just don't 100%. Think he's up to speed with teams at the minute, and I think we'll only really see who's right after the interview if he joins another club.
Yeah, I think the problem is with Ronaldo. I think if he was still at Man United, he is, in my opinion, still a top 5 striker in the league. If you give him a chance, he will score.
I think if he joins another club and he does absolutely amazingly, then maybe I'd take my hat off to him and say, right, you're correct, you were in a shit team, you couldn't excel in it. But if he goes to another team and does the exact same thing, then we've just got to call it a day on him and be fair.
Yeah, but then I watched the whole podcast, and the clips that Piers Morgan was posting every night, that was getting loads of retweets on Twitter and comments and stuff, but they were very short clips and didn't really allow full context. So when I watched the full interview, that was an hour and a half long, it was made more sense. I do think Piers Morgan could have questioned him more, and normally he does.
Well, it's a huge thing for Piers Morgan having an opportunity to expose that, and it's really, you could be seen as just a way to earn Piers Morgan some viewership. So a lot of things were probably taken well out of context. Yeah. And made him look out to be worse. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Ronaldo, but I do see the situation quite well. I'm a Messi fan, personally.
Very questionable, but no, it's not. I think I'm outnumbered these days, but
I think Messi's still got a few years left in him. That's the thing, though.
Yeah, but then my argument was 3 years ago, Ronaldo was still scoring 25 goals a season for Juventus. And they're going, oh, Messi's still really good at 34, but Ronaldo was also doing that at 34, and in 3 years' time, I don't think... Last year, Ronaldo scored 23 goals at all competitions. In 3 years' time, Messi won't have that. But
just going to have a quick look at what he did last season.
Yeah. Was it 18 in the league? 18, I think.
All competitions. Career stats. Premier League. Yeah, in the 21-22 Premier League, he got 18 goals. That's still
it's still very, very good.
It's still like the top percentage of the goal scorers in the Premier League. It's like the hardest league as well, the Premier League.
Yeah.
It's probably the most unpredictable league. You don't really know how it's going to turn out, and just to come into a club in your first season and score 18 goals after not playing for the team for a good 10 years. It's pretty impressive. It holds itself up.
Yeah, it's a sign of someone who was and still is world class.
Definitely.
But where do you think he'll go? We'll finish on this point. Where do you think he'll go if you had to guess a club?
Personally, I don't know if he will go to a club. I think he might.
You think he'll retire?
Oh, I don't know. He's not the type of person to retire.
He said in his interview that if Portugal win the World Cup, he will retire. But even if they won the World Cup, I think he wouldn't.
No. I've seen posts on like One Football and stuff about him wanting to go to Newcastle. And to be honest, I don't really think I'd take him.
But
I mean, obviously I'd want Ronaldo in a black and white shirt. But in terms of the bigger picture, what Eddie Howe's done doesn't fit a player like Ronaldo.
Yeah, I think the thing is, like, I'm not taking the piss here, like, Ronaldo would want to come to Newcastle United, but we don't want him here, and Eddie Howe does not want a player like that in our dressing room.
And that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard you said.
It's incredible.
Because if you were like a 10-year-old kid and heard Ronaldo might come to Newcastle, I think you'd probably wet the bed or something.
Don't get me wrong, I would love Ronaldo at Newcastle, but
maybe for a few games.
just for a game.
Get him on loan.
Exactly. But don't even need him. He's a free agent now, guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
I think we'll wrap up Ronaldo there. Like,
I think, just to point out, I think he'll go to Spawn Lisbon, but we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
Back to his first.
He could do. That's a decent point. Like,
yeah,
that would give him a good game or two.
So the World Cup.
World Cup, yeah.
What a week.
Yeah, I think it's been a week of really exciting games and also
really
quite boring games.
Yeah.
And it makes me think of is it the next World Cup? There's going to be like 16 more teams or something.
Yeah, there's 32 now. There's going to be 48.
There's going to be 48 teams. I just think it's going to be a whole load of 0-0 draws, to be honest,
but
with
the
that
thing
many more
is,
teams.
There's been a lot of 0-0 draws, but there's been quite a few high-scoring games. That's kind of balanced it out. But then, if you're going to put a whole load of other shit teams, another 16 teams that couldn't qualify for this one, into the next one, then what do you expect? It's either going to be steamrolling, Spain, Germany winning 6-7-0 again, or it's going to be more 0-0.
I mean, I understand that it's good for other countries being able to see their team perform at the World Cup.
Yeah, 100%.
But you have to remember, the whole competition is the World Cup finals. Like, these are the teams that have qualified and played well enough, and when you get teams like Costa Rica losing 7-0 to Spain, it's like, what would be the case if San Marino were in playing Spain or England? It would just be an absolute.
Like Qatar, I know they're in it because they're a host nation, but they are hopeless.
They're the fastest home nation to get not disqualified. What's the word? To not qualify from the group stage. So it was
they're the first one, aren't they, since South Africa?
I think it's the fastest team to not qualify. 2 games for the home nation.
Incredible.
Absolutely nuts. But like Morocco, Croatia, I thought that was a scoring game, to be honest. Not a 0-0 draw.
Then there's been a couple upsets. The main ones, a couple upsets are Argentina, Saudi. Now that was incredible because I was watching
1-0 up, didn't they?
I was watching. Yeah. If you're 1-0 down, if you're Saudi Arabia and you're 1-0 down at half time to Argentina,
the third-rated nation,
one of the second favourites for the World Cup. They are really good, Saudi Arabia. It's just a really well coached team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well drilled. The players are rapid. I'm like, this is incredible. Watching them play is really... Like, yesterday they played them, though. I thought they were unlucky again. But it's just they're just missing a bit of quality, aren't they?
I definitely think so. A lot of these matches, I'm just quite surprised at. You've got Mexico, Poland 0-0, Denmark, Tunisia 0-0. Yeah. Poland's a team that can score goals, and so is Denmark. And it's weird. I don't know how these predictions were made in the last episode are actually going to play out.
I know.
I mean, I know I made some risky ones with Australia teams like that are actually turning out to be true.
Yeah.
Well, they were just a laugh, really.
Yeah.
It's like Portugal Ghana. That is probably, I'd say that's the best game I've watched so far.
Yeah, probably.
That because that was an absolute clash of heads. 3-2. Not much separating the sides. Portugal go 3-1 up. Ghana still fighting back.
Yeah.
I did think that was a very good game.
Yeah. So, who's impressed you the most?
I wasn't that impressed by England, even though we beat Iran 6-2. I don't think it was a very good performance. It's quite similar to when we beat Southampton. We didn't play well, but we hammered them.
Yeah. But then, what really was reminiscent the other day when I was watching the 0-0, it's very similar to the Euros when they played Scotland. It was very... Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I think they'll struggle again on Tuesday against Wales. I think there's a semi-decent chance that England don't finish top of the group.
I think France are looking to be the hardest team at the minute. But it just makes you think, if we struggle against teams like Wales, Iran, USA, and we get to the knockouts and we're playing France, Spain, Argentina, we're not going to get past a single game, to be honest.
And like, I love Trippier, but when he's coming up against Kylian Mbappe, there's...
he hasn't been having the best for England.
He was good against Iran, but he was quite poor the other night, which is unfortunate to see. But he gives the ball away a lot, which is rare for him.
I just don't think it's the same type of football
it's not.
He's meant to be playing. He's more of a wing back.
He is a wing back
for Newcastle, but he's playing on the back foot for England, and it's not really working for him. He likes to push forwards when he gets the ball, but he's looking to make a pass straight away. It just doesn't work. It always lands at the opposition's feet. Yeah,
like, I understand Southgate loves him, but Southgate plays him at the right of a back five, so he plays him as a wing back in that formation. But now we're playing a 4 at the back, which will probably change to a 5 at the back when we go through the groups.
Oh, definitely.
Which I think then we'll see a better Kieran Trippier. But
fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I think he's effectively being played out of position. Even though he's a right back, he's being held. He can't go past the halfway line.
I know.
So Saka's isolated because he can't go forward.
But you're so used to seeing him be right there, right there at the top of the pitch for Newcastle.
Overlapping roads with Almiron. That's why Almiron's so good this season. But Southgate, he's tactically inept for me. And then for me, Spain stood out.
Spain looks scary. Today, we're recording this on the 27th. We've got Spain-Germany today, which is a absolute belter of a fixture.
Best game, most excited I've been for a game so far.
We've got Japan playing Costa Rica right now. Costa Rica are 1-0
just scored on that.
That's a shock.
We've been slandering them, calling them all these names, and then...
I know, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Costa Ricans.
It always happens. I don't
think there's many people from Costa Rica watching. So.
I was watching the England match at my mate's house, and when we were playing Iran, every time I slagged off a player or something, they'd do something good. So like, Harry Maguire, terrible, and he hit the bar.
But Spain for me stand out. I still think Brazil will win it because I thought Brazil were really good the other night against Serbia.
I think I've always said Serbia do put a shift in.
They do, but
they're a good team.
Dominated them, Brazil. That Richarlison goal, the second one, phenomenal, wasn't it?
Yeah. They were a hard team to beat, but I think once you start poking holes in them, it all kind of falls apart.
Yeah. So I think most impressed I've been France, Spain, Brazil.
Yeah.
Big test for Spain tonight. Spain beat Germany tonight.
If Spain beat Germany tonight,
they could do it.
Clash heads with Brazil. I think a Spain-Brazil World Cup final would be absolutely beautiful.
I think Portugal have a chance. I thought Portugal looked really good. I thought Ghana did well, and the keeper was lucky.
Ghana are a good team. I've always thought Ghana are a very strong.
It's the African teams. They normally do quite well in World Cups.
Yeah, I like their style of play. They've got a very nice style of play.
Yeah.
I think Switzerland, Brazil will be an alright fixture as well. Just for like a bit of a goal fest, hopefully. Yeah. Sorry, Cher, but
you want to concede?
I just want to see goals.
I know that's the thing. And I'm not being funny. There's in the first week how many nice goals do you remember? Gavi scored a lovely one on the volley.
Richarlison.
Richarlison.
As much as it pains me, I can't stand Richarlison, but he does have some nice finishes sometimes.
Yeah. He's one of them players. It's all the Brazilian forwards are like that. Jesus, Richarlison, Firmino, they're all very on and off players.
They're quite eccentric players as well. They're always like, they put on a show, I'd say. We've got, I think we should talk about our group and how it's going to go, because I know we only need a draw to get through, unless we concede 4 goals or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's absolutely pathetic. We're not on 6 points right now.
It is. It's embarrassing.
The way we played against the USA, they were the better team. We're actually lucky not to have lost against them.
Yeah. 100%.
I think Iran have done really surprisingly well.
Iran have got USA next. That's a really good game.
It's a deciding fixture, really.
If Iran win that, they could qualify, because I think England might
we're playing Wales. If we beat Wales, right, we're comfortable at the top.
We should win.
Yeah, and then we've got USA who have to beat Iran. Well, actually, they can draw. No, they can't.
No.
USA have to beat Iran, so that would be an absolutely belter of a game.
Yeah, but I think England will qualify, and I think they might just finish top, because I think they might scrape a win against Wales, and I think
it'll be some sort of last minute.
I think USA will beat Iran, and I think USA qualify again.
It'll be some last minute Harry Kane tap in.
Yeah, it's just not good, terrible football, and will be exposed in the later rounds because of a tactically inept manager.
I just don't know what's happened. We've played such good football in the Euros, and it's just all seemed to fall apart straight away.
It's just, it's
Do you reckon it's a confidence thing, or
it's a back five? That's what stands out for me, is we played a back five for the whole of the Euros, got the Euros final. Manager got exposed by a more experienced manager in Mancini. That's why he lost the final. England should have won that final.
Mm-hmm.
And then
we had it. We had the game.
Exactly. When you score in the first 5 minutes, you can't lose, no matter what. And then, when you go from a back five to a back four, I understood it. I would do the same thing. But then let your attacking players advance rather than holding them back. Because if you hold your attacking players back, what chance have you got? Definitely. That's why you draw 0 at the USA. But yeah, should we Ronaldo and Messi at the World Cup?
Yeah.
Them two, imagine a final. Imagine.
I think that's the dream. You've got players like Ronaldo, Messi. I think Modric is probably on his last.
Yeah, Modric, Suarez.
Yeah, of course. Cavani.
Definitely Cavani.
Yeah.
There's a few more, but
these are all players we've grown up with as well. So it's a big moment. I do want to see some action.
Yeah, it's quite monumental, because in the next World Cup in USA, Ronaldo won't be there unless he's going to turn up at 41. Which, if anyone was going to do that, it would be him.
Yeah.
But I just think it's incredible. You saw him the other night when they were singing the Portuguese national anthem, him tearing up and crying during the national anthem. I think he knows himself finally that his body is slowing down.
It looked a bit more like a real cry than the Iranian manager.
Yeah, it did. Wow, that was incredible. But if you look, I'll stop being biased towards Ronaldo. We'll talk about Messi. We watched the game last night when we were out, didn't we?
Yeah, we watched it at the pub. Messi, I think he was a bit quiet at first. Wasn't really getting much of the ball. He just kind of sat back a little bit. But as soon as he got that goal, then he was all over them. I think
lovely goal.
It was game over for Mexico straight away, to be honest.
But yeah, it was a really good game. But Messi's very good. Don't get me wrong. He is the second best, but he is very, very good. And I like to see him do well. I like to see Ronaldo do well more. But with them two in the final would be the best thing ever.
I don't know if it was just a poor performance from the strikers last night for Mexico either, though, because I didn't see a single shot from them, to be honest.
They're just lacking, aren't they? They're just not great.
Definitely. But yeah, we've got some more news in the Premier League as well.
Yeah.
Going back there, I think the World Cup's something you can't really talk too much about.
Until at least the groups are done.
You can talk about it too much, and it just takes over the whole thing. So we're going to cut it there with the World Cup, and we're going to talk about Man United,
the Glazers.
Glazers
announcing to sell. Right, it's interesting, isn't it? Because a few weeks ago we heard that, is it Fenway that own Liverpool, the American brand, are selling their shares as well. So for me, it stands out as the Glazers are now panicking. They don't want Liverpool to be bought out by some state-funded like we are. They don't want to be bought by someone like that and miss out on it. So I think they've panicked. I think they're trying to sell their shares or at least get an investment from a big state-funded organisation like that. But it's a weird one. I
really, really hope that we aren't competing with a team like Liverpool in terms of like ownership, because or Man U, it's just going to be like. Yeah. It sounds selfish, but I just want to be the only team.
It is selfish, but you're always going to be like that because it's
your club.
It's your club, and you want the success for your club, and.
It's just, I feel like we've always been the team that doesn't get given much money, and then as soon as we've got
you don't want someone else to
unlimited budget, there's another 2 teams that could be getting the same thing, and it's like we've only had it for a year.
Yeah,
just want to enjoy it for a bit longer first.
For the difference for me though is, I feel like because they are both American funded, I think there's a good chance that they are again both American funded. Someone will come in American. And even if a state, Qatar comes in, or Saudi comes in, or Dubai comes in, I think it doesn't necessarily matter with a club like Liverpool or Man United because they're always going to have the money to spend. Man United are the highest earning club in the world in terms of the kit sales and things like that. No one sells more than them, so no matter who's in charge, they're always going to have money to spend. That's why the Glazers weren't very good.
That's a good point, actually. It's another thing about Newcastle that we really need to build upon. You look at Man United, and you see Man United tops in every single country. You go on holiday, they're selling Man United tops. You see kids wearing Man United tops in bloody Spain. Exactly. You don't see that with Newcastle, and that shows how early on we are. We haven't really like
brand yet, really.
No, and I like it, and I don't like it because I know that we need to become a brand to like. Touch the bigger teams.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's all a stepping stone to success. Because if you start to sell more kits worldwide, kids growing up will start to wear more Newcastle strips. People know who Newcastle are, where Newcastle is, and they'll want to play for Newcastle United.
Here's one thing though: what sells kits? Ronaldo wearing the kit.
Exactly.
So I think, to be honest, if we did sign Ronaldo even for a little bit, that would probably make us able to bring younger stars in,
100%.
Because they're like, oh, Ronaldo's played for Newcastle, he's doing alright, he's wearing the shirt, he looks like he's loving it, maybe we'll pop along, we'll sign Neymar and Mbappe. It's a really good point. I was actually talking about it with a mate the other day, and you do need to sign an old legend who's not going to play the best, but if you see them in that shirt, it sort of makes other players a bit more comfortable with the move. Like it was Botman, wasn't it, who just wasn't comfortable with the Newcastle move at first when we first wanted to sign him.
He was him because us and Milan were both in for him, and they were very hesitant. He was very hesitant, about Milan, multiple-time European champions, arguably the biggest club in Italy, and he went for Newcastle move because I think he's picked a good choice there.
Well, even us growing up had Milan shirts, Inter Milan shirts, AC Milan shirts. It's like they are a brand as well. I know you'll see like a few Newcastle shirts here and there. You'll see it because of Sam Fender, but that's a good bit of brand. And Sam Fender going to Australia with his Newcastle flags and that. But it's so early on. I think it's like the club's being born again, really. And when we come back into the season, we've got a decent little run of games. We've got Leicester and Leeds. I just think
it's mental now. 2 years ago, when with Bruce, I remember we were near the bottom. Sheffield United got their first win over us all season. That was in December. They hadn't won all year and they beat us. And the difference between then, when I was going in every game expecting to lose, and now, where we're going to games going, we can win. We can beat them.
Last season, if we were playing Leicester, I think that was a loss straight away. But now it's
look at it as a win.
Alright game. The only team that we've got coming up that I'm a bit worried about is Arsenal, to be honest. I think we'll give them a game, but I don't know how that'll turn out. We're both very high on momentum.
Yeah.
Newcastle and Arsenal.
We've got that cup game coming up, and that's before Christmas, and that's the fourth round.
21st.
So you win that, you You're in the quarterfinals of the League Cup.
I think we're like second favourites to win for that.
We will be though, that's the thing. We're third in the league. And
I'd love to see us at Wembley.
Oh.
Bloody hell.
Something I've never seen. It's something I've always wanted to see.
Something I've always been a bit jealous of the Mackhams for.
Yeah, even if it is gone
even
for
if it's the League One playoffs.
Exactly, the League One playoffs or the Papa John's Trophy. You know what I mean? Still a trip to Wembley. But to be honest, I'm not jealous. I don't want to go in that shit, anyways.
I know.
But
after Arsenal, we've got Fulham, Palace, West Ham, and Bournemouth again. So
it's not a bad run, is it?
Not bad at all.
But yeah, so we've got that cup run. There's only City and Liverpool left, but they're playing each other. Man United.
City, Liverpool. So one of the giants will be gone.
Man United.
I'm hoping City go out. I want to get my own back for
the Scousers, to be honest.
I want to get our own back for Liverpool after that.
Yeah.
Abysmal.
Scandalous.
But talking about Man City, we're a bit mischievous at the minute.
Isn't it? Yesterday, Fabrizio Romano, the most amazing man in the world in terms of transfer news and just news to do with football, and he said that we've agreed a deal to take Man City's head regional scout as our new head of youth recruitment. Paul Midgley, I think his name was, and I think that's it's a huge signing, because you're taking someone like that from City to come in a higher role. He's obviously good at his job if he's been at Man City, and I looked at it before, and he was at Leeds before that for years. So Leeds now have lots of kids coming through. They've got that Somerville, that young winger who's come through. He's scoring week in, week out for the past 4 games. They've got Joe Gelhardt, they've got Sam Greenwood, they've got players like that coming through at Leeds who he's probably scouted.
Exactly.
And we've got no one.
It just shows the power of Newcastle as well. The fact we can bring someone who's easily comfortable in his job at Man City. You'd think Man City would be the top, be the end of the career, just sit back at Man City, scout players, massive wage, you know what I mean? But instead he's come to Newcastle because he knows that there's something to build.
Exactly.
He can make a difference at the team. I think that's such an important thing. You've got teams like City, United, Liverpool. They've all got like an established name already, and it's not as exciting as when Leicester won the league. That was that just a one-off thing though?
Yeah, it's a one-off thing.
I think that was. It was still exciting, but they didn't really build as much as we have. No. I'd prefer us not to win this year, just to
win the cup.
No, the league, just not to get ahead of ourselves too much.
Yeah, but if we're offering ourselves the league, I don't think by any means. I don't think we'll even challenge for the league.
No.
But
I
know what you mean. You don't want to be ahead of thing, but obviously you'd want to win the league. But
yeah,
I don't want to be ahead.
I don't want to do a Leicester and put it all into one season and then lose a few games the next season and chuck it all away.
It's really respectful the way Newcastle have gone about things in terms of we're doing it slowly. We haven't gone in. We've spent money, but we haven't spent obscene amounts of money. We've bought in Dan Ashworth from Brighton. We've bought in Darren Eales from Atlanta. We've now bought in Paul Midgley from Man City as our head of youth recruitment, and we're now building bridges throughout the whole club that can then expand, and we can go forward and build a better squad.
But even the fans, well, most of them have been quite patient with it as well. Like, you look on forums and Twitter, and they're like, I don't think we will win the league, but I'm happy with that. We're just happy that we're actually getting...
I'd still be happy if we finish 7th. I've said this last week, I think I said it, and that's true. I would be happy if we get Conference League, because I think that's what our aim was for this year.
Definitely.
And I think there's a very good chance we finish top 4.
Especially with, is it Midgley? I keep forgetting his
Paul
name.
Midgley, yeah.
It's still a bit rough from last night. Yeah. But, so I think the names he'll bring in...
It's the players he'll scout, and then you bring in... We've got young kid Ellie Anderson, who... He's still a raw talent.
I still think he needs another loan spell.
I agree with you.
Mature him up a bit, but... The touches he takes are absolutely... He's in charge of the ball when he takes a touch. It's amazing.
Yeah, listen, when I say this, I don't mean it sounds stupid, but you see Maradona and the way he controls the ball, and he's not like Maradona, but you know what I mean in terms of the way he traps the ball. Yeah, the confidence he moves with the ball. He still needs a lot of he still needs a lot of coaching, and I think it's interesting. And I think...
How old is he?
He's only 19?
19, 20. It's like
He's
a year
older
above
than
us.
us. It's mental.
We're sat here talking about him. He's playing the matches.
Newcastle United. It's incredible, but I think it's interesting. I think next week the group stages will have finished in the World Cup, and we can discuss about them and see how they finished, and then our predictions for the rest.
We need to review the predictions of how each group stage ended, and then we can do. I think we should redo the last 16.
Definitely.
And then, yeah, I think it's going to be a mental week, to be honest. I really don't know how anything's going to turn out.
But what an exciting time to be a Newcastle United fan.
I know. That's the best way to put it.
Good time to start a podcast, some might say.
Exactly. Well, Costa Rica have beaten Japan. Next game is Morocco-Belgium. I think we should quickly run through these games, just quickly.
Yeah, run through today's games.
Few quick predictions. I think Belgium will beat Morocco 2-0.
I'm going to say 1-1.
Croatia, Canada.
Oh, Canada were alright. I've seen the managers from concert. Funny that, isn't it? Have you heard him speak?
Nah.
Did you hear him? And he said this. He's like, "We're gonna go and F Croatia up next." He's got like an American accent. It's brilliant. But yeah, Croatia, Canada, 2 on Croatia.
Yeah, I see that.
What's the last game?
Spain, Germany.
Spain beat them. 3-0 Spain.
3-0. I think Germany are on the down.
I think there's a chance. Germany do not qualify. Aye. But
I think we'll leave it on
wrap
that
up our podcast.
Aye.
Right.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah. Subscribe.
Subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Spotify.
Yeah. Apple Music.
I don't use Apple Music.
But still follow.
Still follow. And then give us a 5-star rating if you've enjoyed.
And give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter at @9pod. And we'll see you this time next week. Thank you. Goodbye.